It's hard to believe that it's only 1 month away on January 13th, 2023 that the world gets its brand new punk rock museum in Las Vegas, Nevada. Our boy Fat Mike has been hustling and bustling behind the scenes, getting people to help invest, getting people to donate some stuff, and he's putting it all together in this one spot that people actually travel to in Las Vegas, Nevada, which I think is smart and also kind of controversial if you're familiar with NOFX's history with Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey ladies, Dan Frampton here, and before we get going, how's it bet you go buy some merchandise over there at bonfire.com/Dan Frampton, the O's a zero. Okay, let's continue on with this video. But out of all the people that Fat Mike is reaching out to, asking, hey, do you want to help get this thing off the ground? Hey, do you want to donate some stuff? There's one band. The band that made the most money off of punk rock said no. They're absolutely snubbing Fat Mike and NOFX. And actually, I think they're snubbing punk rock as a whole. So Green Day, you are now officially an enemy of the show. So we're going to throw it to Fat Mike over here on the Tuna on Toast podcast, I guess this is, where he is describing the situation. So let's go to this time code right now.
There's only really one band that said they didn't want to be part of it.
Look at that. He's kind of hesitating. He's like, am I going to out this one band? Well, you know, I'm just saying the real facts.
Take a guess. Who made more money on punk rock than anybody?
Green Day?
Yep.
Green Day. Absolutely Green Day. Billy Joe, you dumb idiot. Mike Dirnt, piece of crap. Trey Cool, more like Trey not so cool. Am I right?
Why would they say no?
Look at that. He's totally bewildered. He's absolutely flabbergasted that Green Day is not taking part in the Punk Rock Museum. January 13th, 2023. All these punk bands, all these punkers contributing to history, and Green Day nowhere to be found.
I called. Fletcher called.
Look, you got Fletcher to call, Pennywise is reaching out, Fat Mike is reaching out. Green Day want nothing to do with this thing.
Okay, wow.
We're still going to give him a...
It's totally taken aback. Whoa, holy crap. What do you mean? That's blowing my mind.
display.
Right.
It's going to be real small, though.
Oh, but maybe they didn't want...
Man, Fat Mike is so unapologetically himself. He loves to stir the pot, and, I love him for it.
They didn't want to put their money into it, but do they want their stuff in there? Like, here's the outfit I wore in the video for
their
Warning.
manager's like, they don't want anything to do with it.
Oh.
They don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to contribute financially. They don't want to be a part of it in any capacity whatsoever. They want nothing to do with it. You can't have our Dickie shorts from the 90s. You can't have our red ties from the 2000s. Nothing. You get nothing, Punk Rock Museum. I bet Green Day is going to open up a Green Day museum right beside it.
Oh man, that's kind of a bummer.
Kind of a bummer. It's just kind of a bummer.
Shouldn't be talking shit, but
No, you're not. You're just...
I'm just saying.
The scoop.
Yeah. Rise
like
against. You don't want me talking shit about you.
Exactly. Well, that's the risk you run when you fuck with Fat Mike. He's gonna talk shit about you. Well, what exactly is the Punk Rock Museum anyway, and why is this such a big deal? Let's throw it over here to the punkrockmuseum.com. Never mind the Guggenheim, here's the Punk Rock Museum. Punk rock is arguably the most significant style of music. That is a very strong way to start this article. It goes on to say that punk rock shifted the paradigm about what it means to be a musician, to be in a band, by showing the world you didn't need great gear or to be a great musician to be a musician. Look at some of the biggest rock bands in the world. Foo Fighters, Dave, Nate, Chris, and Pat all started as seminal punk bands. Green Day, they're gonna throw out Green Day here. Look at this. In this article on punkrock.com, they're even referencing Green Day. And this is what they go on to say. There's no shade here whatsoever. It says they started and are still a punk band. I don't know if I'd be saying that if I was Fat Mike. I'd be stirring that pot and making this beef beefier. Guns N' Roses, stuff was in The Farts, The Fastbacks, and 10 Minute Warning. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea was in Fear and Circle Jerks. My Chemical Romance, punk band. Blink-182, The Offspring, Rise Against. That's a list of the biggest modern rock bands is full of punks. Green Day took the values of Gilman Street, okay? And they brought it to the biggest stages of the world. If you're not familiar, I did a whole video about all their records just yesterday, and here I am talking about them in the most negative light. They've made a complete enemy out of me, whereas yesterday I was kind of going through their stuff, being kind of nice. And I wish I knew then what I know now, so I could have been a little bit meaner in that video. I'm not gonna read all this, okay? But you can go over to thepunkrockmuseum.com/news and read this whole thing for yourself. But just know Green Day wants absolutely nothing to do with it. Just look at that sly grin on old Uncle Fat Michael over here. But if you're not overly familiar with what's going down with the Punk Rock Museum right now, let me show you what Green Day is missing out on. There's a lot of super cool stuff here, like photographs from people that were photographing Henry Rollins' first show. That's gonna be there. This bass that Fat Mike bought because it looked like the bass of RKL bass player Lil Joe, and he got it all smashed up, and he was hoping that the RKL guy, Lil Joe, was gonna fucking donate the bass. Spoiler alert, he did, and they're gonna be displayed side by side. Pretty sick. From handwritten stuff, stage-worn garments, tour essentials, and this whole ass BMX. That's just the tip of the iceberg. You scroll through this feed and you see so much cool stuff. Like this goddamn jacket. Green Day's like, I don't want anything to do with this jacket. This jacket sucks. Screw discharge and blue sleeves. Oh, nice studs, is what Green Day's saying. They don't want anything to do with it. Over here you got Pat Smear. Pat frickin' Smear, okay, of Nirvana, of Foo Fighters, okay? This guy was in The Germs. Yeah, I say The Germs. You got these galoshes that were worn by this band, The Smugglers. Very sick. Green Day wants nothing to do with it. They're like, galoshes are for the rain. They're for puddles. They're not for wearing live on stage. Get out of here, smugglers. Oh, here's the Lil Joe bass. Isn't that sick? It's just like the red version of Fat Mike. Oh yeah, man, RKL were a pretty sick band. And then over here on their Instagram feed, they started calling out for their flyer, so I think there's gonna be a whole bunch of flyers. And all this was just like a pie in the sky idea. I had no idea if I could believe what I was hearing about this punk rock museum until I started seeing these videos over here of them demolishing a space and then preparing a space to put all that awesome stuff inside of. And if they really did get all those investors, maybe this place is gonna end up looking so sick. I think it's really cool that all this stuff is gonna be preserved because it wasn't made to be preserved. This is punk rock, okay? It was all made to decay instantly. But it's really cool that after all these years, 40, 50 years, all this stuff is gonna be underneath one roof. But one roof is not gonna be enough to hold all this stuff. So I think that this is gonna come down to like curation and display. Like how are you gonna display what you've curated? And like kind of what I would expect to see are permanent fixtures and then like rotating features or whatever like they do in actual museums. Las Vegas is a pretty good place for this kind of thing because Las Vegas has a lot of tourists obviously, and there are already like a bunch of weird niche kind of museums there, and this just kind of fits the bill without sticking out like a sore thumb, you know? If you want to buy tickets to this thing, it's already available for purchase on their website. This is not a paid advertising or anything, but you should probably go if you can. Oh my God, it's Lil Joe.
I'm Little Joe from Lagwagon and RKL, and I'm here to tell you that I donated my red Steinberger copy bass to the Punk Rock Museum, and this is the same bass
So sick.
that inspired Fat Mike to buy his shitty blue bass that he broke because he saw me and RKL playing with my shitty red bass. So come.
Yeah, Fat Mike was just really trying to be Lil Joe. That he even like named himself after him. He's like, okay, Lil Joe, a little square bass. Okay, I'm gonna call myself Fat Mike. You know, whatever. It's cool to be like inspired by somebody, and even cooler when you're just like, hey, I was so inspired by you that I tried to clone you and into myself. I love how the season passes look like tour laminates. Very sick. So Green Day, I hope you can sleep at night knowing that you let down an entire community. An entire culture is now disappointed in you. There could have been a place that had all the punk rock stuff from all of punk rock history, but because you're not gonna be a part of it, we don't get the stuff that fills in that narrative about how punk rock blew up in the 90s, because it kind of started with you, Green Day, and now we can't be like, hey, Green Day did this really great thing for our genre because they don't want to be a part of the museum. Fuck you, Billy Joe. Fuck you, Mike Dirt. Hey, Trey Cool. Get out of here, pal. You made a true enemy in me today, and I'm glad to say that you're now my arch nemesis. Like, I understand snubbing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I understand snubbing the Grammys. But the Punk Rock Museum? Absolutely no excuse for that. Green Day, I'll see you in hell. Okay, that's gonna be about it. Remember, you can buy merchandise from the link below, bonfire.com/Dan Frampton. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell if you're cool as hell, and until my next upload, watch another upload.